Hi there, students. Elaborate, an adjective. To elaborate, a verb. Notice, elaborate, the adjective, elaborate, the verb. Okay, if something is elaborate, it's complex, it's got lots of different parts. Yeah, it's not simple. Okay, so there was a very elaborate design painted on the door. Yeah, it was intricate, it was detailed. They made elaborate plans, they had elaborate procedures. These are complicated because they've been planned in great detail, maybe too much detail. Yeah, because normally no plan survives contact with the enemy when you put it into action. Okay, there was an elaborate training scheme for new recruits to the company. Elaborately, the adverb. This was elaborately planned. You could have elaborate clothes, an elaborate hat. Yeah, so an elaborate hat is sort of rather weird, the sort of thing you might go to Royal Ascot and be photographed wearing. It's ornate, detailed, complex. Yeah, he is always wearing very elaborate costumes. Okay, yeah, maybe like Willy Wonka. And then as a verb, to elaborate a plan, to elaborate a theory, to make it more complicated. You develop it, but by making it more complicated and more effective. So his job was to elaborate a more sophisticated marketing plan. He had to elaborate an advertising campaign. Okay, to develop, to improve, to enhance. The elaboration, noun, of something, uncountable. The elaboration of the policy. You could elaborate on something. Okay, if you elaborate on something, you give more details. Do you think you could elaborate on that? I asked the teacher to elaborate on his explanation. Yeah, to expand, to give more information about something. So, elaborate, an adjective, with lots of careful details, many detailed parts. Okay, you don't want to if you're going to have a dinner party, try not to make food that is too elaborate, because it will take you a lot of time. They were making incredibly elaborate plans for the wedding celebration. Okay, so detail with lots of little bits, an elaborate costume, yeah, elaborate arrangements, yeah, an elaborate ceremony, an elaborate costume, an elaborate dance. Yeah, at Christmas they have elaborate decorations, or he gave an elaborate, detailed description. Okay, maybe over elaborate is quite possible as well. It just goes too far. To elaborate, to add more information to explain something, so to elaborate on. He refused to elaborate on his reasons for acting like that. Elaborate, with lots of connected parts and a complex detailed. An elaborate fireworks display. The room was elaborately decorated. To elaborate, to add more information. Yeah, he refused to elaborate on why he had done it in this way. Okay, so elaborate, with many carefully arranged detailed parts, complicated, intricate. To elaborate, to develop a theory in further detail, to add extra detail to make it more complicated. to elaborate, to expand in detail. Yeah, or to become elaborate, to become complex, to work out in detail, to elaborate a theory, to develop, to produce with labor. Okay, so the elaboration of your theory or of a product. So, elaborate, planned, with painstaking attention to numerous little details. A carpet with an elaborate design on it. A tattoo with elaborate little pieces in it. Okay, so to elaborate, to explain something at great detail, to elaborate a theory, to work out with care, to develop thoroughly. Okay, so elaborate, to elaborate, to develop, to elaborate on, to give more details to. Elaborate, intricate, fancy, showy, flashy. An elaborate design, an elaborate description is complex, detailed and sophisticated. Okay, so formality, elaborate. 5 in formality, to elaborate. 6 in formality, but I think for both of them, use them anywhere. It's a touch on the more formal side, but not very much. And as to origin, it comes from Latin elaboratus, worked out, from the verb elaboro, to work out, out of, and labor, to work out of. So enough. I hope that was an elaborate explanation. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now. Elaborate. To elaborate.